Welcome back to another edition of Instigating with Clarkey and Drury. Ryan Drury here, joined by Clarkey, a very jubilant Clarkey. We're filming this directly after a big Game 2 response win for Clarkey's Maple Leafs after a disaster in Game 1. They bounced back with a huge 7-2 victory in Game 2 against the Lightning. We are, of course, brought to you by our friends at Larry Hudson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Listowel. We'll hear a little bit from them later. And, of course, our friends at the Listowel Squash Courts. Clarkey, how you feeling? We'll dive into our picks in a second here. We're going to do our full Cup final, or rather Cup playoffs first round predictions. But Clarkey, summarize how you're feeling after a needed bounce back.
Needed is right, Ryan. They definitely needed the win tonight. There's no question about it after the disastrous Game 1. But I was quietly confident going in tonight. I was confident they were going to bounce back. I thought the broadcast summed it up exactly what I was thinking all day today, which for me to give credit to Sportsnet is, pretty good. But they related the Leafs to John Rahm's 4-putt on the first hole of the Masters and coming back and winning. That's what the Leafs are going to do. They 4-putted Game 1. They'll be fine.
I think they might have 7 or 8 putted Game 1.
Doesn't matter.
Yes,
whatever it is, it doesn't matter. We're good.
Yeah, we'll dig into that heftily. First, we'll do a full kind of breakdown because this is our first, show since the playoffs started. Obviously, we got to talk quite a bit about Game 1, Michael Bunting, all of it. We'll touch on that. Latter half of this show, we'll talk a lot about Game 2, which was a really big boost heading into Tampa Bay on Saturday for Game 3. But first, we should reveal our picks. Now, but before anybody says, hey, they're making picks 3 days in, no. We sent these to producer Adam Monday morning. So the first night of the playoffs, we sent our picks in for all 8 of the series. Clarkey, I'll let you go first. Why don't you run down your picks, go east and then go west? Tell us what your thoughts were.
We have a graphic, I hope, because I might not remember.
We do have a graphic.
Okay, so first of all, I'm going to leave the Leafs to last, but here we go. Okay, so they're all on there. Boston, I say in 5. Now, Florida won the first game, of course.
They won the second game.
Sorry, the second game. I just kind of see I can't see Boston losing. I just, as much as I would love to see it happen, and yes, they showed a little adversity in Game 2, I can't see it happen. I picked them in 5. The Canes and the Islanders, I thought this, after 2 games, would have been tied. And I see the Canes winning. I thought it would go 7, but the Canes up 2-0 already. So that's good news. The Devils and Rangers. I really thought the Devils would show some more fight. They lost Game 1, and they are losing, I believe, Game 2, or they've lost it. It's 5-1 right now with 5 minutes to go. So they'll be down 2-0. They could win the next 4, but they're in trouble. The Rangers are a good team. I just thought the Devils would outplay them. I didn't think Shesterkin had come into the playoffs playing that well, but you know what? The Rangers are tough. A big tough team in the playoffs, and they're showing it now. As you can see, the Maple Leafs, I firmly still believe they are going to win the next 3 games, and they will win this series in 5. I think they're the better team. They laid an egg. There's no question in Game 1, but they're the better team. Tampa's gone through some injuries now. Vasilevsky is proving that he doesn't listen to his coach, and he will do whatever he wants. John Cooper,
as he should.
Control. Well, no, the coach is the coach, and the coach should be able to tell a player to sit on the bench. That's the way it works in hockey. Anyway, we'll get to that later. And then on the west side, producer Adam might be panicking a little here because his Colorado Avalanche lost the first game and are losing the second game. I still think Colorado will win. Stars in 5 as well. That's a toss-up. I know I said in 5 games, and I still think that might happen. The Jets looked good in Game 1, didn't they? Beating the Golden Knights. It's coming down to goaltending, and if Hellebuck can play, drawing a blank, who's the Vegas goalie again?
Larry Brossoit.
Yeah. If he can outplay him, they have a chance, right?
Yeah.
And the Oilers and Kings, as much as I would love to see the Kings win this series, I really would. I think the Oilers will win in 6. So, as you can see, and it doesn't happen very often, Ryan, I've picked every favorite in every series.
Yes, you have.
Yeah,
there you go.
I've not picked an upset. But we know there always are some. There's always some upsets. So we'll see.
There are. Absolutely. I agree. All right. Well, we'll shift over to my picks. Obviously, I differ from you a little bit. Let's just run through it. I'll just run down in order of what I had in my text to producer Adam. I still like the Islanders in 7. And I like them even more now with Sorokin in net. I just think he is the best goaltender available in that series to either team. And now, no Svechnikov, and now the Canes are without Toivo Teravainen, broken mitt. He's going to be out probably the rest of the year. Rod the Bod did not sound very confident that he'd come back. So I'm sticking with the Isles. That's a plucky team.
So we both went
good
7
veteran players.
Oh,
I like the Isles in 7. I have the Bruins in 5 as well. They get a little hiccup there in game 2. Yeah. It got away from them. I still love the Bruins. They're too good. Rangers in 6. That might be a sweep. Like, the Devils don't even look remotely involved. Like, the Devils, man, that's tough. But you know what? Young team, first year back in the playoffs, almost sort of playing with house money a little bit. Could be a big learning experience, and they're going to learn a little bit on that measuring stick. That is that tough Rangers team. And I have Leafs in 6. I'm confident as well. They've ruined my playoff bracket the last 3 years because I've picked them for some stupid reason. But this year I'm confident, and we'll dig into why. You'll have to ignore some of you my rant about what I thought of game 1, but I still believe they are the better team. I really do. I think they're going to win in 6. Stars in 5 as well. I like Dallas a lot. I actually was saying to somebody today, they're sneaky. I think that they could go to the Cup final again. I really do. I hope Joe Pavelski's okay. That Matt Dumba hit on Pavelski was as grease bag a hit as I've ever seen.
What do you think, though? No penalty. Not even a penalty.
No penalty. That was a grease bag hit on a veteran, well-liked guy. Not that factors in, but it's just a grease bag hit. It was a 5-minute major. That was a 5-minute major direct to the head, and it should have been a suspension. Oilers in 6. We can't get distracted here. We're talking about the Leafs. I can't get into everybody else's suspensions or non-suspensions. I like the Oilers in 6. Too much firepower. LA, good core of veteran guys there that have won before, but a younger team. When you look at the bulk of their lineup, they got some injury concerns as well. And I'm not betting against McJesus. I just will not do it. Jets in 7. I think the Knights will have a pushback. They have a deeper blue line, in my opinion, but I think that Hellebuck is just the X factor there. He will push them over. And I still like the Avs in 6. Although you feel for them a little bit. Not that you got to feel too bad for the Avs. They did win the Stanley Cup last year, but no Gabe Landeskog. And man, the future of his career is really in jeopardy now. 2 major knee surgeries. The recovery from the first one didn't go well. Now he's got to have a second one. He's 30, a lot of miles on that body. Like, I love Gabe. Hey, Gabe's a babe, and he's a big fan favorite in this house, of course. My girlfriend, big Kitchener Rangers fan. Gabe, Kitchener Rangers captain.
How'd they do tonight, by the way?
Not good. The Kitchener Rangers are done. Okay. London is going to play Sarnia in the Western Conference Final. Sarnia Sting, first ever appearance in a Western Conference Final. Congrats, Sarnia. Now, there's my picks. I still like the Avs, despite all that. They're so good. Seattle, though, man, they're cooking. They're proving a lot of doubters wrong.
They're a very streaky team too. They get hot. Look out.
And they are streaky. That Matty Beniers kid is going to be a force for years to come. I love Vince Dunn back there, man. Like they're doing my old pal Philly Grubauer, Stanley Cup champion. Hello, rocking and rolling. There's our picks. All right, we should take a quick break, and when we come back, we will discuss first. We'll go negative first.
Okay, that's fine.
We have to.
Yep, for sure.
Game
Let's
1.
Go in order.
We will discuss a lot of talking points. Game 1, Leafs breakdown.
Right now. They're up.
Oh, 2-0 Kraken. How about that? Coming right out of the sea. How about that? Starbucks, look out. Space Needle coming for you. Producer Adam, hold on to your socks here. You'll be all right. You want a Stanley Cup. Don't worry about it. We'll take a break. Game 1 breakdown of Leafs Lightning coming up next. Welcome back to Instigating with Clarkey and Drury. Ryan Drury, Clarkey here, back after revealing our Stanley Cup predictions for the first round. Now, as promised, let's dig into what was, a four-putt quadruple bogey for the Leafs. If you're sticking that John Rahm comparison at the Masters, what an ugly start, an unacceptable start, in my opinion. Now, over the bulk of a series, the good news is the series are not best of 1. They're best of 7. And if they go on, which we're both confident they will, you in 5, me in 6, and they win this series, it doesn't matter. But just such a crushing, given the psyche of this fan base, the psyche of that team, it's a crushing way to start. And unacceptable to start a game like that. They were behind from the word go. And it got a lot of people shaken a little bit and not very happy. 7-3 loss. Clarkey, your thoughts?
My thoughts. Well, where do we start? I mean,
where do we start?
Like, it was
Let's start with the first period.
It was a terrible start to the hockey game. There's no question about it. They weren't ready. That's all there is to it. And I don't understand it. Maybe they were ready for 7:00 and they all of a sudden said, "Oh, we're playing at 7:30." I don't know. I'm just like, it's unexcusable that they could come out as flat as they did. And it's like, as a Leaf fan, as you know, you're just going, here we go again. Here we go again. No one's showing up. What's happening? Where was Matthews? Where was Marner? Where was everybody? No one was anywhere. And it was just very, very disappointing. And they just kept getting more buried and more buried. Listen, I'm not going to come on here tonight, and I think you probably thought I was blaming the refs for game 1. They played terribly. They played terribly. The refs were awful, but they played terrible. And just when the Leafs got back to 3-2, which is still too little too late, boom, a terrible, terrible penalty call. It was awful. Let's admit it. It was awful. And that was basically the game, and it goes on from there. I'm sure you've seen all the chatter on Twitter about Wes McCauley and David Frost and all this crap that's happening.
I don't care.
Do you not think it would be a story in the NFL if there was a referee that?
No, because the NFL doesn't care. They're a money machine. They do whatever they want. They have worse controversies than that all the time.
How about any other league?
The NBA? The league with the point shaving scandal?
Oh, no. That's what I'm saying.
No, they wouldn't care either.
I had a phone call from a former NHL ref today, and wanted to clear up some of the story. Just said that there's no best friends between Wes McCauley and David Frost. And if you don't know the narrative, story, if our listeners or watchers don't know what I'm talking about, just Google Wes McCauley, David Frost, and Sheldon.
I'll break it down for you very simply. They're brother-in-laws.
Right.
Wes McCauley and David Frost. David Frost is the infamous sports agent that was involved in the Mike Danton incident. Mike Danton went to prison for plotting to kill his former agent, David Frost, who also went to court where Sheldon Keefe testified against him for abuse of minors when he was involved in coaching and as an agent, and Keefe testified against him. So this narrative emerged where him and Wes McCauley, David Frost that is, are best buds because they're brother-in-laws, and that's not true. And I actually had a number of people within the game that I reached out to just asking, hey, do you have a beat on this? Are you aware of this? And they all told me the same thing. Wes McCauley does not like this guy, and they do not have a buddy close relationship. Now, that all being said, what I will say and put this to bed on my perspective is this. Would it be very simple for the NHL to just not have him involved? Just simply to avoid this type of conspiracy theory nonsense? Yes, it would. Yes, but also, Wes McCauley, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, maybe unfortunately for Leaf fans, he is one of the best officials in the league. And I'll say this too. Here's the other running narrative. People get that going, and then they start going this. The Leafs are 0-8 in playoff games all time when Wes McCauley refs the game. Well, first of all, the first 4 of those 8, now I'm starting to get angry. The first, because the excuse making is nonsense.
I'm not saying it was an excuse. A
lot of the fan base was.
This is before you go on anymore, my point in this whole thing was, I felt it was sort of a screw you, Leafs. We're going to put this guy in game 1, who also made the terrible calls in game 7, the same guy who we were pissed off about in game 7 last year.
That was
We're going to start
2.
him. No, he was in game 7 last year. Leafs.
No, Furlat was.
No,
Furlat was the one that made. No, Furlat was the one that made the call on Hall.
Google it right now. He was the guy in game 7.
Dude, they tweeted about it tonight. Sportsnet and Scouting the Refs.
Must be true.
Eric Furlat was the one that made the Hall pick interference call on the non-Tavares goal.
Yeah.
It was Furlat who treated the Leafs very well tonight. So
tonight,
look, yeah, Eric Furlat was reffing the game
tonight.
So, yes. So
did you see all the slashing that was going on tonight? Let's talk about tonight later. But the referee was not going to again tonight. So whatever.
And again, here's my point. And I was on our friend Dwayne from Buffalo, Dwayne Steinell, his show 2 Goalies, 1 Mic on Wednesday night. And they, of course, brought this up because Buffalo, they love to goof on the Leafs. Yeah. Here's what it is. And again, keep in mind, Leaf fans, and this is more directed at certain segments of the fan base, because if you go on there and watch my appearance on 2 Goalies, 1 Mic, you will see that I actually support the Leaf fan base. At the end of it, I'm like, look, because one of his co-hosts says, well, the Leafs fans are the most entitled fans in sports. And then I step in actually after all my ranting and defend them and go, you know what? They're a great fan base. You have to be to put up with all this pain. Now, having said all that, let me point some criticism towards you too. And again, this is only toward a segment of people that want to just do the refs hate us conspiracy theory as an excuse for the futility that we've seen up to this point. 0-10 in clinching games where the Leafs could have clinched a series with this core group. 0-10. The refs do not do that. The refs do not do that. The Wes McCauley thing. Oh, we're 0-8 when Wes McCauley refs games. In 4 of the games, the Leafs had more power plays than the other team. In 3 of the other games,
that doesn't matter.
The power. No, I know, but
it doesn't matter.
But it matters to these
fans. It's the timing
fans.
of the penalties, Ryan. It doesn't matter.
Losers mentality. Losers mentality.
Dude, you can't tell me. Hold on. You can't tell me that you're never on Twitter talking about how bad the refereeing is against the Washington Capitals. So
absolutely.
Don't go there, okay?
Absolutely. I will go there because you know what the Washington Capitals did? They had brutal calls.
Yes,
they had brutal calls, and they still won.
Yeah.
Just like every other Stanley Cup champion.
Same with tonight. There was some brutal calls tonight, and the Leafs still won. That's what they're going to do the rest of the way. So we're done.
Every single
referee discussion's over. It's over.
It's not because Wes McCauley. They were 5-0-1 in the regular season with him. This is my point to some of these fans that are going, oh, the refs hate us, the refs hate us. This gets you nowhere. Acknowledge the shortcomings. Every Stanley Cup champion that ever won, the 70s Canadians, the 80s Islanders, Gretzky, all of them had brutal calls.
Yes, they did.
Called against them. And you know
I'm not disputing that.
They persevered and won.
The Leafs had terrible calls in game 1. They came back and won tonight despite terrible calls as well. It's good. It's good. That's what I'm saying. It's fine.
I also said that I agree that the refereeing is brutal almost every night. You can pick out so many things and say it's brutal.
Yeah.
Win the game because the meat of the game is played at 5-on-5.
Right.
I know you agree. Some people need to hear this. The meat of the game is played at 5-on-5. I was the worst for it. Do I still complain about refs? And will I continue to? Yes, I will. But at the end of the day, when you step back and assess failure, It is because your team could not get it done. Like, I think back and I'm embarrassed for all the years when I was a teenager watching the Caps fail. Montreal, 8 seed, knocking off our President's Trophy team. We got shellacked. Brutal. Pittsburgh, constantly Pittsburgh. Sitting there at the front of conspiracy theory street. Me, the NHL hates Ovechkin. They can't have a Russian guy captain a Stanley Cup champion.
Every guy,
yeah, I know,
thinks the same thing.
But you know what? You're wrong. You are wrong.
In what
your
sense?
Team will have adversity and have to put up with brutal calls, injuries, bad plays, bad bounces.
Absolutely.
It's not because the ref hates you.
I started this conversation by saying the Leafs
I know you.
The Leafs did not lose because of the refereeing.
I know.
Horse bleep.
Now, I'll address the game one thing, too, because the hot topic in game one was, well, the Leafs make it 3-2, by the way, on 2 power plays. They make it 3-2. I said this in my rant on Dwayne's show, too. That call on Camp, brutal call. I didn't think it was a slash. I thought that was a brutal call.
Just took the window.
Kill it.
Kill it.
Kill it.
Kill it. Yeah.
But here's my problem. Now, beyond the reffing, okay, we get past the reffing. Here's my point. Don't let Corey Perry run your show a minute 15 into the game. Don't let.
Hey, hold on right there. I said when it happened. I said.
What, the
Justin
goal?
Justin Hall could have put a stamp on this series within 2 minutes of it starting by just having his head up and hitting Corey Perry and knocking him out. But he doesn't know how to do that. And
Justin Hall
drives me crazy.
Justin Hall has been on the ice for 7 of Tampa's goals in this series, including 6 in game 1. I was appalled that he started game 2. Mm-hmm. Appalled.
Not only started. He was on the ice to start the game.
He is the worst regular starting defenseman, or in the very least, the easiest to play against regular top 6 defenseman in the National Hockey League.
And here's the deal. After a game like that, and you don't put Liljegren in his spot, I don't think he's ever going to come out.
What does that say to other guys? Why did Kyle Dubas go and get these not now 9 defensemen?
Yeah, I know. Anyway,
6 goals against, couldn't
Sorry
get
to interrupt you, but that
happened.
I
agree.
I said to Harry, who's sitting right beside me here, Harry,
I agree.
He had a chance to put a stamp on the series early.
Yes. Here's my thing. So Perry does that. Then you let Cirelli get to the rebounds where, again, Samsonov was bad in game 1. The rebounds were outrageous. Yeah. But his team doesn't help him. And then Cirelli's right there with 3 guys near him. No one hits him, bats it into the net. Then you let Kucherov, with no one within 10 feet of him, snipe one on the power play. You know he's over there. He's in the opposite Ovi spot. He's always there. 3 seconds left and you let that guy clap one?
Yeah.
Come on. So then they get back into the game. And here's where everybody started freaking out. Oh, well, the Leafs get back to 3-2, and then the refs had to take their momentum away and give them a bad call. What's a bad call? Absolutely.
And it did take
that's a stupid call.
They got to kill it, but it's still.
Here's my problem, dude.
It still takes momentum away, dude.
Here's my problem.
No matter what happens, it deflates people. And
here's my problem.
Deflated the crowd, deflated the team.
You can't let something like that take your momentum away when you are down by 2 goals.
Easier said than done, but I hear you.
2 goals. Yeah, it is easier said than done.
1 goal.
But actually it isn't. No, but 3-2. After the bad calls, point scores on the power play, and it's 4-2 after the bad penalty.
Yes.
If you cannot stomach being down 2 goals.
Yeah, what happened right after that?
Ice,
what happened right after that?
That's Luke my point.
But hold on. Luke Shen then gets a penalty for cross-checking when his blade of his stick is on the ice.
That was before the camp call, which was
it
also not a good
terrible
call.
calls. It was terrible.
It wasn't a good call either. No, you're right. They don't score on that one though. But now you're down 4-2. If 2 goals on home ice where you control the matchups,
I told you they
with
played like
3 players that make over $10 million, 2 of them make over 11, and are 3 of legitimately, you throw Nylander in there too, 4 now, 4 of the best offensive players in this league.
Yeah.
I said this on the show last night I was on, if a 2-goal deficit on home ice means your momentum is gone, pack up your franchise, shut the arena down, get the wrecking balls.
Yeah.
Do you think that Gretzky, Rocket Richard, Gordie Howe, all the great Montreal players, Islanders, Clark Gillies, Crosby, Ovechkin,
how about the great
whoever.
Tampa teams?
The great Tampa teams.
Yeah,
I got something to say there.
Who did it tonight? They were down and they just folded up too. So it happens.
No. My point is, do you not think all those guys that won weren't down 2 goals, sometimes more in the 80s?
Sure.
And came back and won?
Sure.
If being down 2 goals takes all your momentum away, by the way, with 6.5 minutes left in the second period, pack it up now.
I don't know if you understand what momentum is. Momentum is a team is
I understand perfectly what it is. If you can't get it back,
you have to get it back. You can still get it taken away.
That's what I mean. You have to
get it back.
If you are so soft mentally that you can't get it back with all those high-paid guys and this very talented team, which, by the way, again, I want to reiterate because it sounds like I'm dumping on them, that I think they'll win this series. If you can't get momentum back, down 2, over, you are done.
Well,
now, they played really well in game 2, but
Tampa's done.
Look at Tampa. I'm glad you brought them up. Look at the core of this team. Stamkos, Kucherov, Vasilevsky, all those guys. Look at all the things that they've had to deal with over the years. 2015, they make the Cup final. They lose to Chicago. That was the emergence of Vasilevsky. Remember, Ben Bishop was the starter for them. They get swept by Columbus the next year, or 2 years after that. Get swept by Columbus. The next year after that, the Caps beat them in Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Final. The year after that, they lost again, and then they won the back-to-back cups. Plenty of adversity along the way. By the way, that first cup that Tampa won, Steven Stamkos played 4.5 minutes the entire cup run.
Yeah, he was hurt.
They played without their captain and one of the best goal scorers in the world.
Yeah.
And you know what?
I get it.
Along the way, they had brutal calls called against them.
Yeah, I know.
And this is my point. Enough. Find a way. Every team gets hosed.
Yeah.
They win. Figure it out. I'm sick of the whining. Oh my God, they took our momentum away. The game was over. I had a friend of mine text me. A friend of mine texted me when Bunting, the whole Bunting thing, which we got to touch on. And he goes, yeah, that was a stupid thing he did. But the game was already over.
No, it wasn't.
The game was over? You were down 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if that's your mentality,
well, you can't.
I don't know,
you
man.
Can't say that's the team mentality when.
I know, but like, God, if that's what you think as a fan,
no. But I mean, it's not that I don't think the team quit.
You
really don't. But I just think that Tampa just took over. They took over the game, and that happens.
Then the Bunting thing.
It happens. Yeah, the Bunting thing.
The Bunting thing, extremely stupid. I thought 3 was pretty stiff. 2 felt a little better to me. 3's pretty extreme. And I know people are upset because the Boston thing the other night with that guy, Nosek, that bad hit, the Dumba thing that we touched on earlier. Yep. Guess what? I hate to do this to you. Caps 2018 against Pittsburgh. Tom Wilson took your boy, now Leafs, Zach Aston Reese, center ice. YouTube this hit if you've never seen it. Tom Wilson broke Zach Aston Reese's jaw with a vicious charge where he absolutely crushed this poor kid.
Yeah.
And broke his jaw.
Okay.
That was in game 3.
Okay.
Tom Wilson got suspended for 3 games.
Yeah.
The Capitals lost their number 1 right winger, number 1 power play winger, and number 1 penalty killer.
Yeah.
In game 5 of that series, not only are they missing Tom Wilson due to a deserved suspension, Nicholas Backstrom didn't play because he had a broken hand, which he wrestled with through the rest of the playoffs en route to eventually winning.
Yeah, every team has.
My point is,
Matt Sundin was hurt in 2001, and the Leafs made a run. Bless you, boys.
He was hurt. Tucker was hurt. Roberts was hurt.
Every team can do it.
They were super hurt.
Right.
So just do it.
Yeah.
Enough of this.
Right.
Oh, they took our momentum
Bunting
away.
Got suspended.
No.
Today.
What do you mean?
Like was out. And how did the
in
Leafs
terms
react?
of the game?
No.
Yeah, the game.
No, tonight, game 2. Bunting suspended, and how did the Leafs react tonight?
The game went. They played extremely well.
Pretty good.
Now I'll wrap it up. I don't have anything else to say about game 1.
I think let me just talk about Bunting for a minute.
Please.
I don't think he's been playing well. I don't think he's been that good.
He hasn't.
And I think this could be a blessing in disguise that this guy's not in the lineup, because the entire team, I feel, is watching this guy thinking this guy's going to take a stupid penalty and cost us. And he has been. And
he did.
You know what? I'm very curious to see what happens if the Leafs win the next couple of games. What happens in game 5 when he returns? It'd be interesting to see. Like, I'm not saying that they're going to sit him, but I worde what line he'll be on.
Well,
be interesting. You never know.
I don't know that you can put him back up. I don't think he could. Nyes was really good. Played hard, solid minutes, and just didn't do anything fancy, but just did his job.
Yeah.
Went out there, made hard plays on the puck, won some puck
battles. To the net. Like, he could have had like a great.
Didn't slash 80 guys after the whistle. Didn't cry to the refs when he got touched by a knuckle.
Anyway, let's. We're gonna. Are we going to break and then get into tonight? Are we done with game 1?
Are you done with game 1?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I am. I really don't have anything else to say.
I thought of you the whole time with Samsonov. He didn't play a good game. Bounce back. That's what I needed.
You thought of me.
Yeah, I did. Well, because you.
Look, I don't care. I want the kid to do well.
Time. You told me he was going to do this, and he did it. But he bounced back tonight. But he was also protected a lot. Let's talk about tonight after a break.
Yes, I have nothing else to say. Disaster to elation. We'll take a break and break down game 2. Much better, much more fun for Mr. Clark and Leafs Nation right after this. Welcome back. Wrapping things up here on Instigating with Clarkey and Drury this week. Plenty to talk about, though. It'll be a while before the actual wrap-up. We got to dig into a very positive bounce back. Game 2 for the Leafs. 7-2 win. Big answer back for the Buds against the Lightning after that travesty that was game 1. Really good. All the stars showed up. Tavares with a hat trick. Matthews had 2 assists. Marner getting things started 47 seconds in with a clap bomb. Mitchie Barnes with a clap bomb. Morgan Riley. Let me just say this right away, Clarkey, and then I want to hear you're the Leaf fan here. I want to hear your reaction. Morgan Riley, and it's not just because of the evident franchise record 5 points by a defenseman in a playoff game. It's a combo of that and everything else. Morgan Riley played the very best game of hockey of his entire life tonight. His life.
Don't disagree. A lot of times he will pinch and get points, but he won't be great defensively. But tonight he was great all over the ice.
He was so good. He gapped up on guys. Not a big dude, but he was right tight on the body and digging away, winning puck. He was awesome.
Can I say something else?
So good. Yes.
I hope we can forever put to bed the quietness of the Leafs arena. It's not like that anymore. It really isn't. There's fans there now. There's sweaters there now. There's jerseys there now. There's no suits. very small amount of suits.
There's some suits, but I understand.
I think the Jays,
they brought it
in 2016 with all what happened with the beer flying out of the stands and the rowdiness of the crowd. The Leaf fans have brought it, as you just said. They brought it. When's the last time you saw a linesman in the penalty box trying to control the Leaf fans behind the box? And I'm like, I would love to know what they did. Patty Maroon in there laughing, being down 6-2. Go ahead, laugh. Go ahead. I want to know what they did.
Well, Maroon, that's all head games, and Perry was in there at the time. They obviously kicked him out. I thought the officials handled the end of the game extremely well. Like, just start tossing guys.
Except Kucherov, like twice goes by and slashes Sammy way after a whistle. If it was Bunting, I know he would have got a penalty, but he didn't.
Kucherov's sneaky, dirty like that sometimes.
He turned his blade over too, right? He didn't just slide. He turned the blade over and poked him.
He's a gamer, man. That's all part of the head games of it. And Kucherov's a big dog. He's one of the greatest playoff performers of all time.
Most goals that Vasilevsky's ever allowed in a playoff game. So go ahead, stay in there. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, and again, Vasilevsky, one of the greatest goalies of all time.
No question. But that's fine.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, the Leafs pummeled them. They got to it early and often had a complete opposite performance. They didn't even play. They didn't look like the same team. It was incredible.
They didn't. It is
incredible.
I agree. It is incredible. And Mitch Marner deserves a lot of credit. And I didn't.
Mitch Marner was.
You never thought.
I thought he had his best game.
The way he stepped up on that play to draw the penalty, and then
kept his feet moving.
Yeah, it kept his feet moving, steals the puck, gets a penalty called against him, and then takes a slap shot from the blue line. I think the word must have been, let's just shoot the puck more tonight, boys. Let's just shoot the puck.
Well,
because Tampa was doing that in game one, right? They were just shooting, getting rebounds and whatever, hammering away.
How often have we said about that guy who, he doesn't have an elite shot, but can score and pick. Gretzky didn't have an elite shot.
That was a bad goal for Vasilevsky. There was
a bad goal.
No screen.
Bad goal.
It was a terrible goal.
But consider this, right? Gretzky, unfair. Ask goalies back then. Who was that goalie that said? I think it was Fuhr. Practicing with him, that said, "I could have stopped his wrist shot with my bare hand. It was a muffin, well placed." And Marner can do that. Not a hard elite shot, but can pick corners. And when you have that guy willing to shoot, it becomes a new type of threat on that power play that every year where they've lost and had these failures, their power play has tumbled compared to their regular season numbers. Yeah. And I was like, yes, Mitch, that's awesome. If people are all of a sudden going, geez, you see Marner clap that 47 seconds in? What the hell was that? All of a sudden, now if he's in a similar spot and lifts his stick a couple inches off the ground, people are going to wonder, is this guy going to clap one? Or is it going to all of a sudden open up a little lane to Matthews' back door, to Tavares at the far post? That, I like it. Let's go. Yeah. I like Mitch Marner a lot, man. I really do. He's just
he's got it, and it looks like he's finally proving he can. How many?
He looked like he had fun tonight, Clarkey.
Hasn't he gone 20-something playoff games without a goal, or did he finally score?
I think he broke that streak last year.
Okay,
he broke that streak last
tonight,
year.
And
it's dude.
They need this guy. They need him. I'm sorry, but they need him. Of
course,
they need him.
Yes, you need him. Like I've said to you numerous times, he's your Backstrom, right? He's your Backstrom. He's that guy. He can make those plays. He looked like he had fun tonight, eh?
Well, I think they all
smiling. They all, of course, they had fun.
Yeah.
But him in particular, when he's confident and kind of has that little mischievous grin, knowing hey, I got something in my back pocket. I'm going after pucks tonight. It's just such a world of difference. He can drive that team.
Yeah, they all had a lot of jump. They had Tavares was great. Willie had jump tonight. I didn't think Matthews played particularly great tonight. But
he was better though.
Not all going to be great.
No. But I'll say this about Matthews: he was really good in his own zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was good in his own zone. He came back and tracked back a couple times and got some good stick checks in there. Good support plays on the breakouts, helping McCabe. I liked his defensive game a lot.
Yeah. And
I thought he was really good.
I love the fact right now with the lines the way they are, that there's 3 sets of 2, basically.
Yeah.
You got Matthews and Marner, you got Willie and JT, and you got Ryan O'Reilly and Matthew Nyes. And all 6 of those guys are the driving force of those lines. Like Yarncrock's good. Okay, no problem. Kerfoot,
I thought he was awesome tonight.
Who? Yarncrock?
I thought Yarncroke was really good tonight. He made some sneaky good plays.
And Kerfoot's just that pesky little guy. I wish he was a little more pesky. I wish we called him Kerr Hands instead of Kerfoot. But sometimes he's okay. And then you got Achari on that line with O'Reilly and Nyes. And Achari, that was a huge pickup. Getting both those guys. He was bugging people,
man.
I know, and they need that. They need that. And he's so that line, their board play is outstanding. All 3 of those guys' board play is spectacular. And and then you throw a 4th line out there, Kampf, Aston Reese, and Lafferty. It's a pretty good 12 guys. So
Aston Reese scores tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Kampf really good in the dot again. Yeah. And you're right with that Achari thing that you mentioned. Like, look, the playoffs are a war on the boards. The war is won on the boards. Yes. And they need that. And it's amazing the switch of outcomes for this team when the big dogs do it too. Because we can say, oh, nice offensive production, cool slap shot, Mitch. They were getting involved on the boards. And I've said it, everyone said 100 times, every analyst of ever, O-Dog, Bieksa, all of them. We don't need John Tavares to turn into Eric Lindros. We don't need Austin Matthews to be Eric Lindros.
Yes.
But if you are going to do what Crosby, Ovi, Kopitar, all these guys have done to win, Stamkos, Kucherov, you have to have your star players be willing to engage physically and put themselves in harm's way to win battles.
No question.
The little board battles add up.
Absolutely.
And they didn't do it at all in game 1. They were on the perimeter the entire time.
They weren't ready to play. But
Andrei Vasilevsky in game 1 didn't have a Leafs blue sweater in his crease after a shot within 5 feet of him.
No.
Tonight, so many people in his kitchen.
Yeah.
Guys were willing to do it.
And you know
Justin Hall, for as bad as he is, he blocked 4 shots tonight.
He did. And a couple on the power play on one-timers. I know.
Early.
Stamkos, I remember one in particular. But I thought there was a potential momentum-changing play in this game. Leafs are winning 3-0. The second period starts, and Tampa Bay is getting a little thing going. They're pushing, and then all of a sudden the Leafs started pushing and pushing. And my friends who are watching here, John Haggerty and Harry, they were like, they're in trouble. They can't score. Vasilevsky's doing what he always does. I said, listen, guys, here's the thing. Tampa's not going to score if the Leafs keep pushing and keep getting shots. Vasilevsky can save as many shots as he wants. Tampa's not going to score when they don't have the puck and the Leafs are in their end. And then what happens? There's a little pinch. There they go, 4-on-2, and Cole scores. It's 3-1. And now Leaf fans everywhere are going, here we go again. Here we go. This is what happens. This is what happens. The Leafs 3-0 lead, can't score. Vasilevsky shutting the door, 3-1. Uh-oh. No. Leafs get right back at it. And all of a sudden, a few minutes later, maybe 4 minutes later, Tavares puts one in. Aston Reese puts one in. Marner puts another one in. 6-1. So long. Fat ladies singing. That's what you got.
And that's what I mean.
Yes, I totally agree.
Could have been an adversity moment.
Yeah.
Similar to a bad call.
Right. Tonight.
A guy getting kicked out of the game. A bad bounce. And instead of hanging their heads and having this perceived mentality that fans said in game one of, oh, the game's over. They took our momentum.
Yeah.
No, they put their pedal further through the floor.
Right. But maybe Tampa fans were saying that tonight. Maybe something happened and Tampa fans said, you know what? Tampa's just coming on 3-1 right back in the game. And then boom.
Let me.
Hey, you know what? I don't watch
Tampa fan.
Twitter. I'm never on Twitter during a Leaf game because I don't want to see it. But
that's good.
Hey, whatever.
None of their fans should be doubting those guys. They've given them plenty of reason to believe. But that all said, yes, I agree. They faced a moment where the game could have turned. Tampa was pushing. They got plenty of firepower still. And they said, no, we're going to grab it back even harder. And they did. And it was impressive. Yeah, it was impressive.
And then they're up 6-1 and Jeannot wants to fight Shen. And it's like, whatever. Like
that's going to be the series, man. That's every series pretty much, depending on who you're playing. But like big boy teams like Tampa that have won a lot, they are masters at the long game. And that's what they're going to do. Yeah. If game 3 and 4 go like that too, guess what? They're going to take runs.
Go ahead.
They're going to pound you.
If they're taking runs and the Leafs are up by 5 goals, go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Absolutely. Now, here's my question.
Yeah.
We all know, look, he was really good tonight. Wasn't fighting rebounds. He was laying pizzas, letting out rebounds into the middle of the ice in game 1.
Yep.
Samsonov, really nice bounce back for him. We know the home road splits this year. Sub 900 save percentage on the road, bad goals against. Like what does he have down there at the Madhouse in Tampa on Thunder Road? What's it going to be like? Because we've seen two extremes with the team and him. Yeah. He was atrocious in game 1. And I'll just say this. He made all the saves he needed to, and the goals that went by him went in at times that were not critical, game-changing times. You're down 3-1, then you're down, then they get a late one, right?
Yeah.
The two, I don't know what that was. Who cares?
Yeah.
The 2 goals that he did let in tonight were they weren't great. That said, though, it really didn't matter because of all the key saves he came up with early in the game and at critical time. Because remember, Marner scores on the first shot of the game for the Leafs.
Yeah.
And then Tampa went up 7-1 in shots.
Yes, they did. But the Leafs
Samsonov
took over after that, though.
Yes, they did. But Samsonov, after that little flurry, made the saves. Yeah. If he lets those 2 goals in, say, in those first 7 shots, then you're going, oh my God. Yeah. So I'm very curious. Yep. And look,
so this is what I have to say about that. Let me just have my say.
Yeah, please. We're almost done.
I sometimes, as a goalie, I'm going to defend goalies. And sometimes when you're playing on the road, the team in front of you isn't playing as well as sometimes they do at home. But here's what I'm going to say. You're right. The splits are terrible. The last 3 road games Samsonov played this year, shut out the Ottawa Senators, 2-1 overtime loss to Boston, 2-1 win in Florida.
Yep.
He's played well. And I think that was important. I think that was very important. So let's just see what happens. I think the Leafs are a better team. They're going to win this series.
I want to address our friend Dark Guy because he'll see this and other people that are like, this Washington guy, he hates Samsonov. No, I don't. I wanted that kid desperately to be the franchise goalie for my team.
Yeah, I know.
Desperately.
Yeah, no, for sure. I get it, man. I get it. And dude, I think he's the Leaf goalie of the future. Him and Wall.
Consider this.
Of the future. I really think
he took over for Braden Holtby, the guy that gave me a Stanley Cup. I love Braden Holtby. I would tattoo his face on my ass cheek right now.
Of course.
I would tattoo Braden's
didn't even
face.
Start the playoffs
happily. No, he didn't. I'd tattoo his face on my right ass cheek. I love Braden Holtby. If I ever have a son, I'll name him Braden. I swear to God, I love the guy. And he leaves. I wanted Sammy to be the guy that replaced him.
And I understand the disappointment in him, but I went on for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yes, he has.
That's all I know.
I went on the Washington Capitals fan cast a few years ago and said that he was the best prospect outside the NHL. before he came over.
Yeah.
And I meant it. And he was.
Yeah.
I don't hate this guy. I don't want him to fail. I need runway here for him to actually prove. He pushed his playoff record tonight on Thursday after game 2 to 2-8.
Yeah, I get it. I know. But
and you can't blame all that on the goalie.
He's 1-1 as a Leaf. And let's just see where we go from there. That's all I'm saying. I
want him to succeed.
I also thought I wasn't impressed with Sheldon Keefe's comments after game 1 when they asked him.
Yeah, I thought that sucked.
Who's in net next game? And he's like, too early to tell. He's your guy.
That stunk.
Yeah. Like I wasn't impressed. Joseph Wall is starting, but
I don't want to go back to game 1, but like I thought Sheldon Keefe's coaching in combo with everything that went wrong was atrocious. And I thought so too,
but I thought he pushed some extremely good buttons tonight.
Yes.
He had 100%. The feel of the game when the Leafs had that momentum going. He was
picture perfect.
He was like, he put on O'Reilly with a line with Tavares and Nylander a couple times to keep that pressure going. I thought he coached well tonight. Your buddy there, John Haggerty,
excellent.
Has been all over Sheldon all year, but tonight he thought he outcoached John Cooper.
He, like the team, was picture perfect. And no Hedman. We'll see about game 3. Chernak, they have to continue.
Have they said? No, they haven't.
Hedman, I think he's got a hip problem.
Okay, good.
He's had a nagging back. I don't know. I'm not in the
this
room.
This just in, too, by the way. I'm surprised producer Adam hasn't come through the roof here. It is now 2-2. The Avs have come back.
There you go. As we record this, as the Avs trying to tie that series at 1. Listen, really impressive performance. You know who else will give you an impressive performance as we wrap up this show? Our friends at Larry Hudson's Chevrolet Buick GMC. They'll give you a hell of a performance. Let me tell you what, Clarkey, why don't you fill us in? Because you're part.
Well, let's see if Adam, we might have thrown Adam off here. I'm not sure if he's ready, but Adam, you can roll that. We have on our lot right now something that a lot of dealers don't have. And that is some 2,500 and 3,500 trucks, HD trucks. We have a lot of 23s and 4.99% financing on the 23s, which is great. So come on in. Again, ask for Clarkey, like Bill Jury did. He's happy with his Malibu.
Yes, he is.
Also, we have had 24s come in already. So 24 HD trucks, 25, 3,500, 24s, redesigned dashboard, big screen in those now. They're beautiful trucks. We've had a few of those come in and they're gone pretty much right away. But there's a lot of places that are having trouble getting them. We got them. So come on down if you're looking for a heavy duty truck. Larry Hudson's.
Absolutely. Larry Hudson's.
Nice. Feel big in
yes.
You should come down and just take one for a drive.
I'll have a gander at one, 100%. 1,000 Wallace Avenue if you'd like to get in one. And maybe visit Clarkey and the great team over there. How about that?
The squash courts, Listowel squash courts. Friday night, as the show is airing, the finals are going on.
We advertised that last week.
Yeah, so we have 4 finals. I did not make the final, I must say.
Tough one.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's Josh against Mike in the men's final, and I'm sorry I can't remember who's in the women's final, but I will report on that next week, and maybe we'll get the finalists to come on the show next week, depending on what's going on. But finals are tomorrow night, so it's been an exciting year at Listowel Squash Courts. Hey, we're not stopping though. This is not a seasonal sport. Squash goes on like it never stops. It's indoors
year round.
And we're planning some cool things in Listowel. So if you're around town, come check it out up on Rocker Road there.
Yeah, let me say, beautiful indoor facility. Al, our buddy over there, Al MacArthur, he will hook you up. Very easy to get signed up as a member. If you've never played before, very easy to sign up for lessons. Al will walk you through it, let you play some games, give you some tips. Beautiful facility. If you're looking to get active and have some fun, Listowel Squash Courts, the place to do it. We appreciate our friends at Larry Hudson's Chevrolet Buick GMC and our friends at the Listowel Squash Courts for sponsoring this great show. I appreciate you, Clarkey. I appreciate your Leafs helping you out.
Look at the jersey
series. Yes, sir. There's the Luke Shen. And he deserved it. Got
Guess what
bloodied
I
up
had in
tonight.
game one? I'm never wearing it again. I had my Mitch Marner jersey on in game one. I was trying to change some momentum, but it didn't work. So that's going to just keep hanging up in my closet.
Ah, the superstitions of a fan, eh?
Oh, yeah, this is staying on. I even got my Leaf socks on.
Well, I used to change my hat after every loss.
Yeah. You got to change something, right?
The little things, man.
Yeah.
It's the little things, and the Leafs.
John Haggerty lives in
right.
Southampton now. Your cousin, right, John?
Yes.
He was here tonight. He wasn't planning on being here tonight. He lives in Southampton now. But after game one, he's like, I got to change something. I can't sit and watch this game at home. So he has his trailer here in Harry's garage, and he's living here now until they lose another game. So he may be here for a while. Harry, I'm not sure if Harry likes that too much, but hey.
I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah,
I love the passion. I love the passion. Like I've said to you 50,000 times, I hope they just go get you a cup, man. You guys deserve it. Leafs Nation, as hard as I was on you earlier, some of you, you deserve it. Enough's enough. Let's go get that cup, okay? Let's get a cup in the 6, okay? All right, everybody. You can watch this show Friday nights at 8, Sunday nights at 9 with our friends on Whiteman TV. Channel 6 for Whiteman subscribers. We debut on our YouTube channel Friday nights, 9 p.m. Follow us on social media at InstigatingPod. Like I said, we appreciate our friends at Larry Hudson's here in Listowel in the Listowel Squash Courts. I'm Ryan Drury. That's Clarkey. Big Leafs win. Let's get another one on Saturday in Game 3. We'll be back next week to talk about it here on Instigating.